Scum of Reddit, what small thing do you do to make society that little bit worse? I like to make small spelling mistakes in my sentences. I moan about things all the time but rarely contribute to making them better. I offer my seat on public transport to middle-aged people to make them feel old. I silently judge people and hold them up to a standard that I myself don't uphold. I really enjoy when at amusement parks or crowded places making a disgusted face and looking off in a direction so people spend their time trying to figure out what I was seeing. At my last place of work we had one of those mechanical lock things with a number pad. I'd always press a random number after going through it so the next person would get the code wrong the next time and they'd need to try it again. Sometimes I'd hang around to watch it happen. It always cheered me up. Sorry if this grosses anyone out. In fast food you never know what scumbag is making your sandwich. When I worked at Wendy's we had chicken sandwiches that would take honey mustard sauce. We had it in a squeeze bottle, pretty small as it didn't get used much. The manager who trained me in sandwich construction was very specific when applying the honey mustard. To apply the proper amount, make a W for Wendy's that covers the entirety of the inside of the top bun. When the manager wasn't looking, I'd always make it an M, as my name is Matt. I never rate any of my apps. I hold the door open for people that are too far away. I use oxygen that someone else could put to better use. If I don't have anything nice to say, I just say mean things. I give people who don't like me good advice so they won't take it. I undermine the economy by not borrowing money to buy consumer goods. I'm standoffish with nice people when I'm not in the mood for chatting. I copy things from Reddit to my Facebook so my friends and family think I'm clever. I pirate virtually all my content outside of Netflix and Spotify but I don't seed my torrents. I have a bad habit of singing the chorus for Idling Dirty when I see someone on a scooter or wheelchair. At house parties I help clean up afterwards but secretly hide a TV remote in a very obscure place. Potted plants are my favorite. I come up with elaborate methods of helping people, then pat myself on the back for being so helpful in my imagination and go back to eating Doritos and playing Fallout 4. I work at Timmy's and when people who get bagels are jerks I don't cut their bagels all the way through. It's not that big a thing but I know it'd ruin my whole bagel experience. When I'm leaving a busy store with a crowded parking lot, I'll oftentimes take my keys out of my pocket and swing them around as I head to a car that's parked in a prime location. As soon as the vultures begin to circle and queue up for that sweet king spot, I breeze right past the car and enjoy the look of frustration on their faces as I make my way to my actual parking spot. I used to work across the street from a Whole Foods in the downtown area of a major city, and I would do this every time I walked back to work from eating lunch there. The parking situation was especially bad on the street level there, so people would get visibly pissed when they saw I wasn't even parked anywhere in the lot. I enjoyed reading this. Just last month some lady sat in her idling car staring at me for a full 5 minutes as I loaded my car. She could have found 45 other spots in that time. I regret not just walking away after closing my trunk. More than I regret not just walking away after closing my trunk. I have walked away when there is someone acting aggressive for my spot and pulling in way too close for me to back out easily. It's best when you get in the car and take a long time to start it. Then after another minute or so put on the reverse lights and start backing up slowly. Then pull back in the spot and get out and walk back in the store. I ducking edge you. But you are not getting that close spot you waited for and blocked 10 other people in the row well before I was even close to done. The confused, angry look on their face is worth it. They did not expect this evil. I let people know how incredibly smart I am for watching Rick and Morty. On Throwback Thursday, I like to comment, "Whoa, you used to be so pretty." I print all of my company's envelopes in Comic Sans. I got gold even through a horrible spelling error. Thanks. I tell little kids that Santa is real and will bring them anything they want as long as they ask their parents for it enough times. I switch beers around in beer crate in the supermarket. So when people arrive home they will have one different beer in the crate if they didn't pay attention. I press the pedestrian crossing button even if there aren't cars coming. Then I cross before it turns green, which means cars will be unnecessarily held at the lights when nobody is crossing. My local traffic light is set to go red when it sees someone doing 60 km/h or above. So when someone is tailgating me I make sure I keep at 58 and punch it a few meters before, so that the asshole has to stop at the red light. In public restrooms I flush the toilet with my shoe. I'm the guy who says cha 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 when you sing happy birthday. As a millennial all I have to do is exist. It really riles people up. I work in the financial system, but we're not all scum. Just the vast majority of us. Sometimes I am that person who is completely unaware of their surroundings and gets in the way in public. I donate $2.01 every week to St. Jude's, works out to $104.52, and I get to write it off of my taxes as $105, getting the government 4.480 acute. Working in a 13-story building, I would often press every button on my way out on the ground floor, only did this when alone, and no one was entering on the ground floor, so some poor guy would get on at floor 2 or 3 and have to stop at every floor on the way up. Last time I did this, stepped out of the elevator and some guy rounded the corner in a hurry, saw the doors closing, and bolted to get into the elevator. All I heard from behind me was "Oh come on Jesus Christ." He knew. Often I don't come to a full stop at stop signs. I make super condescending remarks to Reddit posts. I rarely support any of my local businesses because Amazon is cheaper. I enjoyed reading this thread way more than the one about contributing to society. Sometimes I park in handicapped spaces, then handicapped people make handicapped faces. I sign up to and install Facebook mobile app games, then spam all my contacts with game requests. I don't even actually play the games myself. I click on clickbait. I know it aids the spread of this online cancer, but I just want to see how far from the truth that it strays. Single mom earns $400 an hour with this easy tactic the big companies don't want you to know about. Apparently as a Democrat in Texas, just existing, I add spelling mistakes to emails I'm supposed to forward. I never donate to freeware companies, and then I complain when they shut down. I get the overwhelming urge to kick daffodils. When nobody's looking I do. When I get into an elevator, I push the button to close the door even if someone is coming to it too. When someone I don't like is right I make sure to say, "Are you sure about that?" A good amount of the time they end up changing their statement and become incorrect. I covertly fart in a crowd and then sneak away and watch as they all silently blame each other and try to get away from the source without acknowledging the fart or looking like an idiot. I never tighten the lid on a container. If my cat brings home any dead critters, I just fling them into next door's garden. I don't know if I should upvote some of the comments because they are so on topic or downvote because they are vile. I sometimes have to eat when I go to bed, but I hold it until the next morning so I can eat at work to waste time. Edit. I wrote this while eating at work. I throw my cigarettes out of the window while I drive. Duck it. Update. I literally just got a $250 for littering for doing exactly this after thousands of times of doing it and not getting caught. On the day I made this post, well, there is a God, and he is pissed. I don't water or cut my lawn as often as the retired guys in my neighborhood water and cut theirs, and am therefore defacing the otherwise pristine green beauty of my block while devaluing everyone's homes just a little bit. I also don't trim my purple smoke tree so it's in line with my bay window. Apparently it drives others crazy. Whenever my family and I go to an amusement park, typically Disney and Universal, we all pick a place to just stand in line. A party of around 10 people, just standing in a line that goes to nowhere. Eventually, people would walk up and ask the person in the back of the line what the line is for. We would usually say that we aren't sure, or we would make up a lie about a secret event or something. They would join the line. And soon people would just stop asking about what the line is for and just join in. It's a line at Disney. It's gotta be for something worth standing in line for, right? After about 15-30 minutes our group would just get out of line and leave a line of very confused tourists behind us. Honk at pooping dogs. I don't do it anymore, but when I was just a wee lad, for years I would go in the bathroom of fast food restaurants and put ketchup packets under the nubs between the bowl and the toilet seat. For no reason. Years, man. Then the inevitable happened. I went to a McDonald's just before closing. Got myself a Big Mac. Next morning, I got up early and stopped in the same McDonald's for a breakfast sandwich. Stopped by the bathroom to drop a deuce. I guess the employees there don't clean the restrooms at the end of the day. I was wearing white. I deserve it. All of it. Edit. Why? Why? Why would you give me gold? How could you reward someone for such a horrible thing? Stop the internet. I want to get off. Edit 2. Stop giving Emmy gold, you are rewarding terrible behavior and this is not okay. Edit 3. My top rated comment in the history of my 9 accounts is about one of the most shameful things I've ever done. What kind of monsters are we?